Hello everybody, I'm Evan Sayes, Coal Harbour Media. We're doing a test here on the Jeanneau 469. This big powerful boat has a massive interior, and we're going to show you very quickly around it here. This is the forward master stateroom. Big island bed, masses of room to walk about. There's a very nice little vanity unit in here, and a white leather stool that we can sit on to get dressed and so on. Nice bathroom, separate shower, and very modern sort of lines inside these boats, but still retaining some of the yachty feel with the teak coloured wood throughout. Coming back out into the main saloon and into the aft toilet, which is shared by the two aft cabins. In this case, there are 3 cabins in this boat. You can have 4. This one has 3, and the two aft cabins share this head. This is the second of the aft cabins. The other one's much the same, and full of ventilation hatches and light, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hatches, I believe, in here. The galley has 3-burner propane stove. There's a huge fridge here, which is top loading and front loading, and this bit here is the freezer, I beg your pardon. There's 2 stainless sinks are covered with panels that turn over, and you can use them as chopping blocks. And in here we're back into the chart table area and the electrical control panel, and the chart table will drop down and make yet more seating. This is the main dining table, which will sleep anything up to nearly 8 people. Now we're going to go sailing. We'll hoist the sail out of the stack pack on the main boom here with the electric winch, halyard winch. Up it goes in a jiffy. What a lovely breeze today. Gorgeous weather. This is Vancouver at its best. We're going to roll out the 105% Jeanneau. Makes things easier to handle, especially short-handed. There's less pressure on the rig, and yet this is a powerful boat. This is the way of modern boats, is to put smaller headsails and bigger mains. In this case, fully battened main. And we're going to lighten up on some of the sheets once we're ready, and we'll go sailing. And instantly we were doing 8 knots, and this is about 15 knots of breeze, and we maxed out at about 8.7.
Outside of the boat in the cockpit, you can see that down below we are all on one level. There are no steps. There aren't even any door sills as you walk through the boat. So really a key point is that the boat is very easy to walk around. And of course we have this nice 45-degree angle companionway with very wide steps that are curved also to keep you protected when underway, with nice handrails. So you can see that you have a very easy life outside with the cockpit all on one level. A low door sill. An easy set of steps here to come down the companionway at 45 degrees, and a very level floor that's all living on one level. So those are very much key points that you'll find on the Sonata Sea 469. We're down below here on the 3-cabin, 3-head version. In this particular version, we have a settee saloon that is the same as all of the other versions of the boat. We have a nav station here that's against the aft panel, which is similar to what we have on the 4-cabin, 4-head version. We have a long galley on this version, and we have, of course, 2 symmetrical aft cabins, each one with their own private head compartment. This is a version that's very well accepted both in chartering and in owner environments. And of course, all of this comes along with the large forward owner's cabin, and I think we'll start there. The forward owner's cabin is notable in terms of its size and its volume on this boat. One thing you'll see when you walk right in, as I said before, no door sill as you walk in, and a very wide door. So a very easy circulation as you come in. You have a very large bed, a queen-size bed here in the forward cabin. And because we have the sail locker forward, we have a squared-off bed at the end of the cabin. So it's really a true island bed. Good access up to each side. Again, we have our hull ports here with our sliding shade system. Lots of opening hatches in this compartment as well. If I look here behind the door, we have a big hanging locker that's right here that goes all the way on through into the lower cabinet. A cabinet underneath. We have a sort of a desk vanity set up here that opens up. We have a mirror. We have a pass-through for the cables, and underneath there are plugs for the shore power system, so you can easily keep a laptop computer in here and use it as you wish, or recharge your telephone, recharge your iPad, all of that done right here. Reading light. We have indirect lighting also in the forward cabin, so you can see up here along this edge that we light up this this panel here that's on the wall, as well as the space underneath the bed. On the other side, we have a full-length mirror that's up against the bulkhead for the head compartment, and we have a nice leather handrail. In terms of storage through the rest of the boat, it really is there's a ton of storage, as this is really designed to be the owner's cabin. So of course we have a whole set of cabinets along each side of the hull up above with opening gas shocks, and we have two large drawers under the berth with a third one that is used when we don't have the air conditioning, and we also have an additional hanging locker and cabinet over on the port side of the cabin as well. So really a ton of storage, lots of light, lots of ventilation, large bed with easy access. So really an owner's cabin that you would usually find on a 50-foot boat or even larger. So something we really worked hard to give over as much of the space as possible in this boat to the owner's cabin. Here we're in the owner's forward head compartment. You can see it's a very nice in terms of volume. We have a very nice molded sink that we have here with a soap dish, nice set of faucets and mixers. Good sized mirror, all LED lighting, which we have here and of course throughout the boat. And we have here a nice little teak seat that is in our shower area. And our shower area is very easy to put into place with a set of folding doors. And this really allows you to have a true shower in a boat this size. And you can see that we very well protect both the toilet here back in the corner as well as the sink. So a very easy area to shower in, to maintain, to clean, and so forth. And in terms of storage, we have storage cabinets here under the sink and outboard. And we have room here to have both the optional holding tank in the forward head and shower. In this 3-cabin, 3-head version, we have our long galley, but the items that you see in the long galley are the same that we use in the L galley that we have on the 3-cabin, 2-head, and we'll speak about that. You can see here we have a double sink with sink covers. One of the sink covers, of course, has a cutting board, which is something we have throughout the range. We have a very large refrigeration and freezer compartment. So on one side, refrigeration with an optional vertical door. And to the other side, an ice box that can be set up as an additional freezer compartment with a separate compressor that is a keel-cooled compressor. So a very efficient system. Storage along the back side with room for a microwave, and plenty of storage here underneath the sink, both in drawers and also with some of the plastic baskets that are very good to remove and to stock up in the car or at the grocery store and bring back and throw into place into the boat. So we have a ton of storage here, and it's the same fridge compartment, freezer, sink, vertical door, the same large 2 or 3 burner stove, depending on your choice, that we use in all the different versions of the galley on this boat. Here we have our main settee and salon area. This is basically the same no matter what version of the boat you take. Some of the biggest differences involve whether or not you'd like to have the Deluxe folding table. And this is our Deluxe folding table here, which folds right up and it has a storage cabinet underneath. It means that you can very easily access this little corner back here for the nav station. The standard table is a fixed table with 2 removable legs, and those can be removed to be made into a berth. This one here on the fixed bit of furniture, of course, cannot be made into a convertible berth, but there's usually plenty of space on board for people to sleep anyway. On the long galley version, we do offer a bench seat here. The bench seat has the advantage of adding to the number of people who can be seated. So in a version where you might have 3 or 4 cabins and you want to have some additional people around the table, it's perfect. But it's also quite good as to use as a bracing position when you are using the galley underway. So it's something that's very nice, that goes along very well with the long galley. And we don't offer this option on the 3-cabin 2-head version with the L galley. We offer additional seats that can be tied down at sea, but not the full bench seat. We do have some of the items that we had even on our 509, which are these backrest inserts. So you'll see in the various fabric selections of the boat the ability to have different color setups to the backrest. It breaks up a little bit of the monotony of having all one color in the boat, and has been very well received on the 509. And you can see here we have storage cabinets along the back side of the hull. Lots of visibility out through the hull ports. Lots of light coming in from both the big flush hatches overhead and the fixed windows on either side. And lots of storage here underneath the settee. We have some dedicated spaces for an air conditioner when you have the air conditioning system. But one of the key things, and we'll see it in the aft cabin, is that a lot of the technical spaces of the boat have been moved to the aft. So an item like a hot water heater, which would usually be placed here underneath the settee, has been put behind the engine in the technical corridor going towards the aft compartment, which means that you liberate a lot of these spaces here, which are often full of technical bits and pieces, for storage. And one of the neatest bits of storage here is right at the front end of the settee, and it just opens up on a little gas shock. And you have in here plenty of storage spaces, including a bar cabinet for bottles and some plastic storage compartments for loose items. So something that's very easily accessible right here by the nav station, right by the companionway hatch, and right up on a little gas shock, so very, very easy to use. In both the 3-cabin 3-head and the 4-cabin 4-head version of the boat, the nav station is positioned here at the aft end of the settee, aft facing, similar to what we have on the 509, so a nice sized desk. The possibility of having a television here that it serves both as the television for the salon, but can also be a repeater for navigation information from the GPS. We have a niche area here that we have again in all of the different versions, which allows to put VHF and some other bits and pieces that you have while sailing to keep them out of the way. And behind the nav station itself here, we have the main electrical panels, which would include, of course, the 12-volt panel as well as the shore power panel, along with backlighting, level indicators for battery, fuel, water. This here is a touchscreen DVD player that runs also the television. And here is where we would add additional panels such as inverter, air conditioning, generator panels, and so forth would all be in these spaces, so that you're very easy to get to when you're here, but when you want it to sort of go away, because some of this stuff is not quite as attractive as you'd like, it can all go away behind the panels, and this area becomes a nice clean area for reading, for writing, for using the computer. Plenty of storage here in the nav station desk itself, with again a pass-through for cables and plugs down below, meaning you can plug your computer right in, including to an interface to the navigation system, but also into power for recharging. And a little area here, which is a great space for not only a handhold, but spaces where you could put keys and wallet and telephones and so forth, and have them right handy when you are sailing. The aft cabins on the Sun Odyssey 409 are symmetrical and identical regardless of which version of the boat you choose. They are fairly remarkable in the fact that they're probably the ones that have the most light and most ventilation of its class with all of its competition. You can see here we have a technical space here running down between the two cabins, which helps isolate one cabin from the other and takes into account a lot of the mounting of all of the additional equipment, autopilot computers, air conditioners, hot water heaters, as well as all of the bits and pieces for the engine and engine ventilation, which means that all of that is here and no longer in the rest of the boat. So a very good use of space between the aft cabins. The width of the aft cabins is also remarkable in this size, and it's mainly due to the use of a hull with an exterior hull chine, which gives us additional width, certainly at the aft end of the berth. The other features include the fact that we have here a possibility of an indirect lighting system. So not only do we use a white panel here to help give a real feeling of additional space, but we have it when it is lit with its indirect lighting system, which is controlled just right here underneath the hanging locker. Really lights up the space quite a bit. All LED lighting, LED of course reading lights, as well as overhead lights in the boat. We have a hull port with a sliding shade system that we use, our aviation shade system that we use throughout the boats. We have a bit of the fixed window, but we also have an opening hatch that goes out onto the deck, as well as two opening ports. One opening port here in the cockpit, and another one here onto the cockpit seating, which is right at eye level as you walk in. So it's a superb location for visibility, light, ventilation. So in an aft cabin like this, you have 5 points of light, 3 of which are opening. So really a key feature of these aft cabins is that as opposed to most aft cabins, they have light, ventilation, volume, storage. It's really, they're really fantastic spaces to live. This is the aft head in this 3-cabin, 3-head setup, but it's the exact same one that we have to either side in the aft cabins of that version, and the exact same head that we use in the 4-cabin, 4-head version, of which we place 4 of these heads, 2 of them being, of course, symmetrical, port and starboard. You can see here that it's, even though it's a head on a boat that would be for more of a charter use type head, we've given a lot of volume and light over to it. We have a nice mirror. We have plenty of light and ventilation coming in from the side deck windows and opening ports. We have storage underneath the sink, storage outboard behind the cabinets. Even if you have the holding tank, you have that storage. Our nice molded sink that you find throughout the Sonata C409 heads, along with a shower that you can hang up on the wall and use the space as a shower, and a very large marine head that can be also an electric head if you wish. Plenty of access to the technical bits and pieces, through hulls and hosing in the head compartment as well, and of course an integrated shower pump to use the space as a shower.